die by a Chinese-made drone. Oh
Yeah,
god.
that would be very fitting for a Maoist to die by a Chinese-made drone. Speaking of drones, here's how not to get killed by them.
How to counter drones in modern warfare. First step. Put up an umbrella. Believe it or not, umbrellas are kind of commonplace in a lot of infantry units. When they're making nighttime movements where thermal cameras can find them very easily, when you put up an umbrella, they can't see you anymore. Obviously, you want to put some camouflage on top. You maybe want to use different material, not something that's going to catch the heat like this is. But nonetheless, it's very effective as long as you put a little bit of time and effort into putting some brush.
All right, so basically TLDW, stock up on umbrellas.
On top and some concealment. And not to mention,
Seize the means of
you can
umbrellas.
stow it away real quick.
This is Kivdiv.
And go down with it.
Yeah, so no, he's not a Maoist, but
Oh, we watched this guy a while back.
yeah, he has some pretty
Yeah.
interesting stuff. Tactics are tactics.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Oh my god, is that a fucking KMT flag? I hate him.
Oh no.
something I learned in Iraq, which was very useful for me in Ukraine, is putting a scarf over you. Not only is it going to somewhat mask the
There you
thermal, at least for a short time being, but you can also see through it. I can see you. And what would this be handy for? The one thing about drones is that they're operated by a human looking at a screen, and humans were made to recognize other faces, whether it's an enemy or a friend. It's very human to catch on features that look like a face. So to hide your face with a scarf that you can see through still, you can look up at the sky and try and find that drone instead of letting them see your big oily face with two bright eyes.
Yeah, no, they
From the
had
beginning of warfare thousands
they
of
had
years
trouble
ago to
targeting
today.
insurgents because of that.
The most lethal weapon on the battlefield still stands, a human. So all this machinery that we have, it was all built by a human. It is flown by a human for now. And the human mind continues to be the most powerful weapon on the battlefield, no matter what you face. The next one is sewer systems. If the human mind just doesn't cut it, become a rat. Build yourself subterranean structures, whether it's tunnel systems, going through piping like the Russians do to great effect, to be honest. Suja, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, all of them have examples of Russians using sewer systems to get behind the lines. And they work very effectively. And I would
Okay, so Russians already stink. Now you've got Russians crawling through sewers.
Oh man.
You should add clothespins to the list of essential kit.
know that personally. Use subterranean as much as possible. Drones can't detect you there, they can't strike you there, and they can't find you. Think about Hamas. Still exists. The next one is weather. Obviously, the best use case for these drones is observation. The fact that they can recon an area and find you and then call in whatever they want.
They definitely know it, yeah.
So one way to avoid detection is to conduct your movements in the middle of a thunderstorm, in the middle of very dense rain or very dense fog, in the mornings, dusk, dawn. These are tactics that ISIS used to use back in the day. We used to call them thunderstorm assaults, where they would only go out of their tunnels when it was very rainy outside. And the same goes for us. We have to utilize the weather. And that kind of goes into daytime, nighttime. Nighttime is usually the most lethal time to be walking around because of the thermal signature that you radiate. It's very, very effective, and it's very hard to mitigate, although I'm going to give you guys a couple examples of how. One thing to keep in mind is that if you're moving during daytime, a typical surveillance drone like a Mavic 3 cannot use its thermal imagery when it's daytime. It will shut off that camera so the sun doesn't damage that lens. Now, there's some workarounds for that, but we do not use thermal during daytime. We're not even allowed to. We can't. Our machinery doesn't allow us to most of the time. I'm a big believer in daytime movements as opposed to night because of the thermal, but also nighttime, it complicates everything. 0s, 5s, 25s, trying to find mines, as well as the speed of the movement and the dependency on technology, like your NVGs that have batteries that can run out, or an accidental flashlight discharge, which will get everybody killed. The next thing you can do as an infantryman is anti-drone netting, which is very common all across the front line ever since the beginning of the war. You put netting in front of your bunker. That way the FPV gets caught in it, and it can't go inside the bunker directly and kill everybody inside. So put camouflage netting everywhere you can, not only to conceal yourself when you need to look outside real quick, or to conduct sills, or to prevent an incoming FPV that knows your location already. And the next one
that'd be wild if they make completely transparent netting,
where you have a device that recognizes when there is a frequency.
No, because I think like drone pilots are gonna be watching out for the netting and stuff.
Yeah, the capacity of the human mind to develop like ever more innovative shit to like murk each other with or prevent from being murked is fucking amazing. We're just fucking killing machines.
Yeah.
We're just monkeys that have been to the moon, that's all.
We've had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
That's being emitted into the air. So one thing to know about an FPV is that it's got an omnidirectional antenna, which makes it so that the operator 20 kilometers away can still...
This is why you don't believe like the mainstream bourgeois media. Like, okay, so the enemy has as its number one purpose to what? Defeat people's forces, right? And a major way that you can defeat people's forces is by sowing doubt, by sowing dissent within the ranks of the people's army, right? So of course they're going to put out, oh my God, the Maoists are surrendering. What are you guys going to do now? You're wasting. Like they did the same shit in the Philippines. So yeah, unless it's an official statement from the full Central Committee, like this guy Abe. Like, okay, Abe is basically like it's it's a title. It's the title of the spokesperson of the Communist Party of India Maoist. It's not one individual, and then that individual defects or gets killed, and that name is retired from use. It's not like a baseball number. So the old Abe released this almost unilaterally, saying that we surrender, we give up, and you can only trust a statement that's issued by the full central committee of a party, not just one rogue, one renegade. So, yeah.
And this is kind of like what they do in Colombia, where the FARC and ELN have disarmed to some degree, and they've the Colombian government has these de-radicalization campaigns where they make these FARC individuals live in these villages and go through this brainwashing process, and they also like get them to snitch on their comrades as much as they can. Get them to say a lot of false information.
Yeah, they did that in Vietnam too. It was called the Chia program. Basically, like they would abduct and kidnap people and claim that they were members of the National Liberation Front, known to Americans as the Viet Cong. And they would drop like propaganda leaflets saying that, oh, the Americans are going to kill you. Ooh. And so Psy-war is a thing. Don't fall for it.
View the video feed from that drone, but yourself, you can also detect it. The tiny essays will be able
and
to
don't underestimate the fact that these countries, they're all talking to each other.
Definitely.
Give you an alert, let you know that there's something flying around on this frequency, and then you can call it into the bigger jammer networks and say, we have this frequency next to us. Is it friendly? No, jam it out of the sky. You understand? The next one, overhead concealment and cover. Who would have thought? Forests, bunkers, houses, urban terrain especially. Concealment that he put over, netting or whatever it is. Yeah, that's going to make it so that they can't find you. If they can't find you, they can't hit you. That's the big thing, is avoidance, early detection. Trying to be as invisible as possible to these drones that are trying to find you every meter of the battle space. And the next one is dispersion, because the odds are if you're making a big movement, they're going to find you. They're going to find you. So having a big machine gun line of 10 guys on a couple of 240s, it's kind of old school now. You're going to be found and you're going to be struck, and one FPV can take the entire team out. So it's important to have dispersion, whether you're in a patrol or in a static position where you don't have cover from an RPG. And kind of going on the structure of the bunker, you want to make sure that there's a zigzag entrance. So what that's going to give you is it's going to stop the FPV from entering right.
What goes on in these live streams? Basically, Matt is slowly getting drunk. I don't drink alcohol. Yeah, Matt,
I can show you what I'm drinking. Okay, so I got mango nectar, Humex. I got that's what it looks like. It looks weird, but then I got cinnamon moonshine from the Red River Gorge.
Enjoy pissing all night. But yeah, basically we talk shit about current events, we talk shit about theory, we talk shit about DSA. This is just Liberation Caucus shit talking shit.
Yes, very much so.
Yes, nothing that we say can be interpreted as the official position of Liberation Caucus. But because we're terminally online, and because I developed a semi-nefarious reputation from shit posting and shit streaming, we figured, why not? The combination sounds like a hangover. Oh, Matt's going to have a hangover, but
I don't get hangovers.
Matt is a Yakubian hillbilly, and he doesn't know any better. Anyways.
Insider billinage. The blast as well as the shrapnel is going to hit the edge of it, and it's not going to be able to get in. Now let's talk about kinetic ways, at least what you can do as a soldier, carrying with you a rifle and a shotgun. Well, a rifle is only going to be effective against a Mavic. I think we've seen plenty of videos of people trying to shoot down FPVs with rifles. I think it's about 1% of the time that it's actually effective. I know that firsthand from my team. So rifles are only for slow-moving, loitering Mavic drones. Mavic drones that are even 300.
Connor, what chapter are you in? I wonder.
But yeah, no, the stuff with the shotgun is pretty obvious. Sure that anybody was spread.
Yeah.
Basic training would be able to do it. Iron sights, that's what I did.
I think birdshot has more spread than buckshot.
Training and the fundamentals.
Oh, that makes sense. It's birdshot.
Yeah.
Of that rifle that you're using, and you have some training time with it. Now, for shotguns, it's a must-have for any environment where there's going to be FPVs. FPVs, it's very difficult to shoot down with a rifle. Very, very difficult. Just take my word for it.
Shot has those pellets that are like as big
they
as
need shotguns. So you should have one at least in a team. Have as many as possible. Yeah, it's more weight. But if I was an infantryman in Ukraine, I would feel very weird about not having a shotgun that was readily available for myself, personally, at least for a movement, like a big patrol. Yeah, I want a shotgun with me. The next one is camo up. When you're about to conduct a patrol, take the 10 minutes to stuff your gear and your uniform with as much brush around you. It takes 10 minutes, but it does such a good job at masking yourself.
I hate that they don't let us do this in armor. Like, we're fighting in a forested environment. They don't let us, like, manipulate the environment to give ourselves camouflage. It fucking sucks.
From daytime cameras as well as thermal a little bit. And talking about patrols, all guns up. When an FPV is loitering around you, spinning around you, everybody should have their guns up. That is the most inherent threat to your life and your squad's life. You got to take that thing down, no matter what the situation is, in my opinion. So one easy way to react to a drone is get everybody's rifles up. You call up drone, everybody's rifle up, try and shoot that thing down. Even if it's not a shotgun, it's better to have 20 guns on that thing instead of just 1 or 2 drone guards who have a shotgun.
Is there anything that people need to prep for before the Liberation Sign update? No, we're going to put you through Polyad. Don't worry. It's not like you have to do like we're going to make you take the Maoist ACT or anything.
People can come to me if they have questions. Come to me in the Discord, social media, wherever.
Rifle.
Yes, Matt is basically like de facto, one of our de facto outreach comrades. We have an outreach committee though.
I do so much outreach. I don't need to join the committee.
Everybody up in the action, try and shoot that thing down. I'd imagine that's probably a really good way. I've heard that the Russians do that a lot. A lot of our drones in particular were shot down by Russians. It is effective, and I definitely recommend that. The next thing is that while you're on a patrol, what are we taught as infantrymen? You should be looking around where you can dive into cover at any moment. That's one of the things that you do in a patrol. But one thing you should probably look for is where can you dart 50 meters away to get to a very hard piece of cover, whether that's a house, a basement, a thick forest that you can run into. Forests are a great way to get away from drones. Yeah, you can still get hit. I mean, people get chased around in forests all the time, but it's very difficult. We only see the success clips, to be honest. We don't really see the failed FPV clips online. There's plenty of them where they're chasing them in forest and they hit a tree and then they're not able to reach their targets. So get inside there. It's going to slow down the time that the FPV can come, and you can actually outrun it, as well as be concealed from not only the Mavic that was watching you the entire time that called in.
You got to be a little bit weird. You got to be a little bit weird to be looking for war footage all the time. But at the same time, I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad.
I guess I'm a little bit weird. Yeah. And like in guerrilla warfare, like force are your friends. Everybody knows that.
But also from the FPV itself. And if you're in that forest and that FPV is still chasing you, find a big, thick tree and hug it and try and use that as some bit of.
Do we think that so Trump issued, hold on, I'll pull it up. Trump executive order. All right, so he issued this executive order designating. Okay, so for one, Antifa is not an organization. It's not. There is no CEO of
Antifa.
Yeah, there is no CEO of Antifa or anything like that. So I think he tried this during his first term, but this was a few days ago. And then he followed up with another one, basically stipulating that we're going to deconstruct all of these secret underground networks. It's bullshit. But it's ideological warfare and lawfare. So he's designated an organization that isn't even an organization, a domestic terrorist organization, because of the aforementioned pattern of political violence, designed to suppress lawful political activity and obstruct the role. Okay, so this is a rat fuck, because protesting is lawful political activity. It's literally guaranteed by the Constitution. That's why, anybody that you see talking about rule of law or using there is no rule of law in this country. There never was any rule of law from the perspective of the proletariat. It's all noise. It's all a facade. It's all designed to trick and trap you into engaging in methods of struggle that are amenable to and that are easily co-opted by the enemy. Like none of this shit is for us. None of this shit has ever been for us. And with the decades that are happening in days now, like that we have a decade happening every day with all this shit that's happening. If you are engaged in strictly legal struggle, that strictly legal struggle is about to become illegal. Like all of this is a lie from top to bottom. Antifa recruits, trains, and radicalizes young Americans to engage in this violence. Like, what violence? What violence? Somebody popping the tires on a Waymo or somebody burning a Waymo is not political violence. Like most of the actual political violence in this country. Like these people literally stormed the Capitol. Trump pardoned them all. Most of these people that are engaging in like these, Jesus Christ, Skrilla, you look horrible. You good?
I'm solid.
You solid? You ain't got no. You just necked a bunch of energy drinks, didn't you?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Skrill
But,
saves the day.
yeah, we're not going to be too. Yeah, we're not going to be too long. We
This
don't
shit
want
took me 13 minutes, actually 15 minutes to join because I tried to join around 8:03,
That's
and
wild.
even now my computer is freezing up and not wanting to comply with me.
You look like when
Anakin joins.
Yeah, Skrilla is basically Anakin's Wario. But yeah, going back to this whole like Antifa executive order, it's not a nothing burger because people are going to be locked up because of this shit. People who have not done any fucking thing are going to be locked up because of this shit. And people seem to forget the right wing commits the overwhelming majority of the political violence in this country. I think the last, like you had William von Spronson, rest his soul, rest in power, like who was popping tires on ICE vehicles and got murdered. But like, there hasn't been any real left-wing political violence in this country since Assata rest in power. Like since that era. Like the left is generally a bunch of weenies in this country.
Unfortunately.
Anyways, back to Kiv Div and how not to get killed by drones.
Of cover. Trees can stop bullets, and they can certainly stop shrapnel from an FPV. So, last ditch effort, but find something that you can hide around.
The drones were watching
The next
Skrilla
one
while
I'm going
he
to be very
slept.
careful about saying is freezing. You see a lot of clips, especially from the Russians, where they freeze in contact with an FPV and then they get struck. Well, freezing is good in certain circumstances. If you can hear the drone, I would say don't freeze. They probably already see you, and you just got to get to cover at that point. But if you suspect that there's a drone in the air, or if you're in the middle of a patrol crossing an LDA, a linear danger area, I would recommend freezing, making sure that while the rest of your team is moving, you don't move. That way you can react to that drone and they can't find you as easily. Train for denial and deception. Regularly rotate your positions and run exercises with your team that force them to operate without revealing their habitual patterns. So do long training scenarios where you have to stay out in the forest and not get observed and not get killed by this drone. If you're fighting in a war with drones, you probably have a friendly unit that can fly drones too, and they should be helping you train by chasing you around, trying to find you. Train how you fight. Get drones inside the training scenarios. Medical and casualty preparedness. You got to expect the worst. You should pre-position medkits in all of your squad. Where's the medkit? Everybody should know. TQ is the same. Rehearse casualty extraction, very, very important with drones. And learn how to do this with reduced visibility without turning on a flashlight at nighttime. Have a direct line with the EW support around you, the assets. Whether it's with your command or directly with them, you should know the available support in your AO. And you should know to call them and also find out their routines. When do they turn on the jammers for everybody in the area? There's usually a routine, and you should know that so that way you can make your movement. Record. Having a GoPro, you can find out how your squad reacts to this drone. You can learn what was effective, what wasn't, and you can pass it on to the TOC and the intel guys in the back. And better yet, if it doesn't have any munitions, say it's a Mavic or a bombing FPV that already dropped its bomb, recover it if you shoot it down. Recover it and give it to the intel guys. They'll be able to find out what frequency they're running on for that month. It's usually like the same unit that's using the same frequency for a month. And that's going to go a long way, not only for yourself, but for everybody around you. That way the EW knows.
This is why I laugh at these idiots that are like, oh yeah, you have to go and you have to lift 5,000 pounds of metal every day. Like, this is how wars are fought nowadays. By nerds sitting in front of computer screens.
Oh my God, it's Arma.
Use decoys and dummy activity. Everyone in Ukraine knows that if you use a Harris radio, which has a very distinct radio frequency, yeah, it's encrypted. You can't tell what's being told on it, but it also creates a very unique signature. So you can use that as a decoy. You can set that up in a position far away from you, and then you make your movement while they're looking at this decoy, wondering, ooh, what's going on here? And they're going to maybe even launch something big at it instead of you. Does that make sense? Decoys. Think about it. It's the human mind. We're creative. Mask logistic movements. resupply at night or undercover, dusk dawn, and also make sure that the timings of the convoys aren't predictable. And that goes for patrolling as well, infantry movements. You don't want to be predictable. As a Maverick pilot, we would look at an MSR knowing that the Russians did not learn. They always came at this time and they're going to be going down this place. Staggered. When they went out into the field a week later, we didn't catch them until midway through, and they still got away because that EW backpack on them. So make it different for the operators. Make it different than what they're used to, because they're going to react to the routine, not react to what they
EW
think you might do.
backpack.
Does that make sense?
Is
And going
that-
on with that,
Is
plan
that what
alternate
carries the
routes.
drone, or is that a
What?
radio back? He said
Electronic warfare.
okay.
Fallback
Something like
positions. Never move along a single predictable track. You should have prepped, safe locations with water, food, enough room to keep a team inside it. You should have these prepped or know where they are. Ask your leadership, ask the units around you before you go there. That way.
What the hell? Are you giving money to Ukraine?
Fuck no.
Don't give money to them. Don't give money to none of them people.
Bruh.
Not a single penny. Not a single cent.
No, I literally looked up EW backpack.
Okay. Ukraine needs some EW backpacks. That's why they had the advertisement.
Ukraine need a little bit more than that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna say they do need a little
Hold
more
on,
than
this
that.
shit froze my fucking screen.
Bro, I don't know if you've been paying attention to my camera. I've been freezing this entire call. I'm pretty sure I'm freezing right now.
Gosh.
I can't stand my dad. He was comparing Ukraine to Palestine.
Oh my fucking god, that's the biggest lib shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. Holy shit. Oh my
yeah, he was saying
god.
Just because one is suffering more doesn't make their struggle more important than the other. If you ask Ukrainians, they're going to say they went through exactly what Palestinians went through.
Let me ask you something. Who give a fuck about Ukraine?
Yeah.
I mean, they are teaching us how to conduct modern warfare, so we should definitely pay attention to it in terms of
we should pay attention, but I'm not giving a fuck about the Azov battalion. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I'm not
bro.
I'm not giving him any of my fucking money.
I had to share a bunch of stuff with my dad.
What do you mean by that? I have an ad blocker. It just doesn't block every fucking
Nazis.
thing. Yeah. So, Comrade Assata, Shakur passed yesterday in Cuba a free maroon at 1:15 p.m. In her words, she believed in living. I believe in the spectrum of beta days, and gamma people. I believe in sunshine and windmills and waterfalls, tricycles and rocking chairs. And I believe that seeds grow into sprouts and sprouts grow into trees. I believe in the magic of the hands and in the wisdom of the eyes. I believe in the rain and tears and in the blood of infinity. I believe in life, and I have seen the death parade march through the torso of the earth, sculpting mud bodies in its path. I've seen the destruction of the daylight and seen bloodthirsty maggots prayed to and saluted. I've seen the kind become the blind and the blind become the bind in one easy lesson. I have walked on cut glass. I've eaten crow and blunder bread and breathed the stench of indifference. I've been locked by the lawless, handcuffed by the haters, gagged by the greedy. And if I know anything at all, it's that a wall is just a wall and nothing more at all. It can be broken down. I believe in living. I believe in birth. I believe in the sweat of love and the fire of truth. And I believe that a lost ship steered by tired, seasick sailors can still be guided home to port. So Comrade Assata was guided home to port today. Well, yesterday. Cuban time. The fact that she did not transition to the ancestors in a fucking cold, solitary confinement cell can be attributed not just to the people of Cuba, but also to the revolutionary movement. Because it was the revolutionary movement that paroled Assata.
Yes.
Like we see in the prison movement, like people are constantly asking these Republican governors to pardon these people using legal tech. No, these people are political prisoners because they are political enemies of the ruling class. The ruling class is not going to free you. So Assata would have transitioned, would have become an ancestor in the enemy's dungeon if it wasn't for the May 19th Communist Organization and her comrades in the Black Liberation Army. That is something that we have to remember. Like, we see people today who would have considered her an ultra, or would have said that, oh, you're hurting the movement, if she were if she were alive and politically active this very day. Like we see how people responded to the DC incident. We see how people responded to Luigi. We see how people responded to Rodney Hinton. It was either with ignorance, by ignoring it, or it was by openly attacking them, saying that they were hurting the movement. And I asked, like, what exactly has the nonviolent wing of the so-called movement done? Like, they haven't done shit. They haven't done shit. Like, how long have we been asking for Medicare for all? Where's the Medicare for all?
Mm-hmm.
Shit's getting worse and worse and worse. You've got a fascist in the White House playing in our faces. So, in terms of diversity of tactics, you cannot just like malign the tactics that have actually worked because they hurt you, they make you get in your feelings. You cannot do that. That's it's self delusion.
I
And
quoted. Oh, sorry. I thought you was done.
go ahead, Skrilla.
The other day in the server when I was speaking, and I actually paraphrased something Assata said, that you don't gain your freedom by appealing to the moral sensibilities of the oppressor. That's not something that happens. That was a paraphrase of a quote from her. Actually, let me pull it up. Let me pull up her what she said. She said, "Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them." And this is very true. You want to look good and you want to look presentable to the people that fucking see you as an animal and don't even fucking see you as a human being. They don't like you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care if you're happy or if you're sad, and you're trying to appeal to them to make yourself look more professional, to make yourself look more presentable. When at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck how you look. They don't give a fuck how you present yourself. And the masses will understand at the end of the day, because you, like you said, you brought up Luigi Mangione. They fucked with Luigi, and bringing up Elias Rodriguez. Granted, that's a little bit more niche, but at the same time, he got the same amount of support from the people that were supporting Luigi. Now, granted, this is adventurism. Like, we shouldn't popularize this, but at the same time, you got to understand where these people are coming from when they do actions like this. This isn't coming from a place of nihilism, where I'm just going to do this because I don't give a fuck. This is coming from a place of desperation, where you feel like you have lost every other option. Everything else is exhausted. You need to understand where these actions come from, because everything else where you're describing it as ultra, or if you're describing it as this is hurting the movement, you're speaking from a privileged standpoint because you don't understand how the fuck it feels.
And that's the thing. These like a lot of people, a lot of people understand how the people feel because like they're not of the people, they're not from the people, they're not among the people. They sit in their little gentrified hidey holes and craft bars and craft breweries or whatever, and they postulate about shit they don't know anything about. They don't know what it feels like to go to bed hungry. They don't know what it feels like to have to fight cockroaches to do your homework. They can't relate to any of this stuff. Like Assata, when she was young, she was literally like living on the street among sex workers. Like one of my favorite parts of her autobiography is when there was a trans sex worker that literally took her in and tried to like prevent her from getting hurt on the fucking street. She's like, bro, these people are going to fucking kill you. Go home to your auntie. Like you have no business out here. Why are you out here? Like go to college, be a good girl. Like she had a mentor that helped prevent her from realizing a horrible fate. So that's a major part of why she eventually came to serve the people, because like of her own, like they sent her to this horrible Catholic school where she was basically brainwashed and made to feel unintelligent because she was black and because she was a woman. So like these formative experiences, and every revolutionary has them. Like every revolutionary has that particular aspect of their lives that were like that made them be like, you know what, this shit is horrible. I'm not going to keep. I simply refuse to keep going through this. Whether it be a horrible experience on a job that's basically a plantation, like these slavery ass jobs. Like people go through this shit and then one day they just crash out. They're like, you know what? I don't have to go through this stuff for what? For $10.75 an hour. I can't even make my rent. I have to like share my apartment with 3 or 4 other motherfuckers, and you have the audacity. I come in here every fucking day and you're gonna write me up or you're gonna fire me for, I don't know, falling asleep or being on my phone. Man, fuck you. Like radicalizing does not really come through. I mean, individual study can help radicalize you, but the overwhelming majority of people the overwhelming majority of militants are radicalized by their own experiences in this horrible society. Like people are like wondering where all of these radicals, where all of these militants are coming from. They're coming from you. They're coming from the horrible conditions.
There
That
was a
Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead.
There's a really good tweet I saw, and it correlates exactly with what you're saying. They said that communists are not made from theory; they're made from hunger. The
Yeah.
theory just helps them understand why they're hungry.
Yeah,
I
nothing
don't
radicalized.
have the
Nothing
Mark.
radicalized us like an empty fucking stomach.
I haven't read the Mark. I haven't read Marx's Capital, but I have the Marx of Capital on my body.
Who said that?
Big Bill Haywood.
There you go.
And yeah, that relates a lot. Like that's what woke me up. Was brutal exploitation at a factory. Was then going over to Amazon and being exploited all over again. But I got to witness the Amazon labor movement in full swing back in early 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It helped so much with me on
And my awakening came from my upbringing with I'm not gonna say it all on stream, but both of y'all know my upbringing and how that was.
Wasn't very cool. Yeah, it wasn't a very it was a temporary experience. And like that's the thing, like we don't want people to suffer. We don't want people to suffer, but like that shit tempers you. This is Comrade Matt's story, by the way. So, yeah. He got dogged out and fucked over by Amazon.
Yeah, and then I got fucked over by the fucking union I worked with. God damn.
It wasn't necessarily the ALU as a whole. It was a certain individual within the ALU.
Yeah, well, a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Chris Smalls, Derek Palmer, and then some of the other members of the executive committee.
Yeah. And Amazon warehouses are notoriously brutal. I almost worked at one, but then like there's this old head there. I think he had just gotten out of prison. He was like, "Young brother, don't work here. This is slave. This is slave. Don't work here."
They're doing this thing right now where they're automating. They're further automating their systems that show where inventory is supposed to go. So what Amazon does is they make this map of the inventory that is all digital. And so if you're a picker or a stower and you have a scanner, so that scanner is like part of the AI system. And so now they're using this AI to choose where people go and work all the time. They call them pick paths. Yeah. Any Amazon employee knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, AI is a fucking devil.
Mm-hmm.
But Comrade in chat says that they lasted 2 weeks.
Damn. Yeah, no.
Lasted 2 hours.
And if you're at Amazon, the fucking algorithms, that's what measures your performance against everybody else in the warehouse, against everybody else in whatever type of facility you're in. You're competing against your coworkers all the fucking time.
Which is crazy. I know someone that used to work at a Amazon warehouse in Fresno, California, and that's the exact experience. He ended up getting fired because he wasn't meeting a quota. Like this shit was a factory line, which to be fair, it generally is. That's how most warehouse jobs that I've seen are just slave labor. You're working in hot ass conditions, getting paid whatever your state's minimum wage is. Great. Thankfully, he was in California. I'm not sure what the state minimum wage there is, but if I was working here, because I almost got a warehouse job when I was like 17, I believe, and it was my state's minimum wage, which is $7.25.
Yeah. Kassan was on for 3 years. No wonder they're third world. Minneapolis 2020 radicalized you before you even read Marshall. Yeah, everybody's confirming. Like it's your experience that radicalizes you.
Yeah, I was there for 2 years.
Yeah. Your location and warehouse will make you late from 15-minute break just walking to the locker. Yeah. See, this is the type of shit that makes people want to fuck shit up. So rest in power, Comrade Assata. You definitely earned it. May we be worthy of our sacrifice and memory. So, settler colonialism. We live in a settler colonialization. People are always talking about settler, this settler, that. Read settlers. Fuck settlers. So, what exactly makes somebody a settler? Like, am I a settler?
No, because you were brought here not by your own choice.
Yeah,
and your culture got ripped away from you. Your language got ripped away from you. Your ancestors got ripped away from you. You are a colonized person.
Skrilla, are you a settler?
Hell no. Well, technically, if we're looking at it from the aspect of, because I am descendant of both Spanish and indigenous, and with Mexico, it is a settler colonial state. Technically, in Mexico, yes. In the United States, no. It really is just dependent on, I guess in that case, it would be dependent on area. But the same thing goes because we look at Liberia, like the people in Liberia are settlers, but in the United States they wouldn't be.
Yeah. Matt, are you a settler?
Yes. German immigrants who came here at the turn of the last century.
Okay, bye.
No, that's not even a settler though. That wouldn't even make him a settler. That makes him an immigrant. You're not from the original settlers
Immigrants
that
are
came
settlers,
here.
though.
Yeah,
Immigrants
even if they had nothing to do with like slavery and stuff like that, they benefited from it. They've benefited from the systems. They benefited from the old money. And these were German immigrants who came and bought a farm. Like
This
of
dude
course,
said,
y'all eventually lost the farm, but still.
This dude said
We did
mestizos are more
not.
Native American than European. Some of them are, not all of them. You have to keep in mind that with Mexico and a lot of Latin America too, there's this thing called cleansing the bloodline, where they have you like it's
Limpienza la
encouraged to,
sangre.
yeah, where it's encouraged that you date and marry and have kids with someone that's whiter and more pale than you. So you can argue that mestizos are Native American, but you also have to keep in mind the traditions that can lead to that not being the case. It's
Yeah.
kind of it's a little.
Argentina literally wiped out all of their black people with like a wars with Paraguay. And then like they imported a bunch of like, have you wondered why like there's so many people with Italian last names in Argentina? It's because like they literally imported a shitload of Italians, half of which were anarchists, to Argentina. And like yeah, I guess they didn't like politically screen like America ended up doing. But they ended up basically like importing anybody like you had a lot of Jewish people, you had a lot of Italians, you had a lot of course you had the old stock Spaniards. Um Portuguese. Brazil did the same thing. They called it bronceamiento, whitening. They also had a shitload of Japanese people that went over there, but like the Japanese amarelo, yellow.
My
They ended
favorite
up,
UFC fighter.
yeah, they ended up like they were like they occupied a sort of like intermediary position. Like okay, so basically in Brazil, if you were like, why do I keep pronouncing it like that? Like if you were like either indigenous or you were black, like you were basically at the bottom of the totem pole. If you were like mixed, like the majority of Brazilians are, like everybody in this fucking everybody on this stream could be Brazilian. I would be from Bahia. Skrilla would basically be like from Rio, and Matt would be one of the Germans from the south. Um, yeah, Brazil is basically the United States of South America. But anyways, so like they imported a bunch of European immigrants, hoping that they would basically fuck the black people out and indigenous people out of existence. Yeah, they wanted everybody to look like Matt, or at the very least, like Skrilla. They did not want people that look like me in Brazil.
Bro, reading about the native tribes in Brazil, like I was reading about this one whose language went extinct recently. I would need to go through my history, but that applies to so many different tribes in Brazil. And you look at the history, it's like, oh yeah, they had 10,000 people existing at this time, and now there's none. That's crazy. That is sad, and it's especially sad that it's still going on in modern times.
Yeah, and like there's like Bolsonaro, he was basically like he basically declared open war on these people. He's like for example, there are uncontacted people that are still in the Amazon region, like people who had no contact with settlers, who didn't know what a black person looked like they basically lived the same as they always have. And like Bolsonaro just basically let the timber prospectors and the gold prospectors and the oil prospectors basically go in and like kill these people off with diseases or just shoot them. Like that dude would be out hunting in the woods like his fucking generations have done for millennia, and the dude would just have his brains blown off. Dude didn't even know what a gun is. But like Bolsonaro didn't give a shit about it. He considered them savages and barbarians. So yeah, luckily his ass is going to jail now.
So glad he's behind bars.
Yeah, piece of shit.
He
Yeah,
deserves worse. So much.
He does
worse.
deserve worse.
So
Yeah, there are still many indigenous tribes alive and resisting today, but constantly under attack, specifically from agribusiness.
Mm.
Guerra popular hasta el comunismo. Anyways, yeah, Trayvon Martin. Ooh, that's a blast from the past. That was shit, damn near 20 years ago. But yeah,
That was,
fuck Bolsonaro. So
yeah, that was
Brazil,
2013.
20. No, that was before Mike Brown, I think. 2012. Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah,
I was 1 year off.
yeah. We're all getting old.
Well,
Anyways,
I was
so,
9 years old then.
yeah. Let me see. How old was
I
I?
was
17.
young.
Yeah, I was not 20. Anyways, so Brazil is a settler colony. It's like the prototypical settler colony. People forget that the Spaniards and the Portuguese were over here before the English. The English were sort of Johnny come latelys. They didn't establish their first colony, I don't think, until what, 1607?
Yeah, Jamestown, right?
Yeah, Jamestown. That was where they were eating each other because they didn't know how to grow their own food,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to hunt the animals. They didn't want to eat. They didn't want to let the indigenous people teach them how to make food because they thought that was peasant work. Like most of these people at Jamestown, they were like the second and third fail sons of landed gentry. They didn't do that type of work. And
There's a theory asserted from some Romani comrades of mine that like the Jamestown colonists were starving because their Roma slaves escaped, just like ran away.
yeah, I didn't even know there were Roma slaves here.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, but like it's not mentioned in stuff like it's not even mentioned in Settlers, but like Settlers came out like it came out before Anne Sutherland's before her anthropology of the Roma, I believe, of Roma in America.
Yeah, they
But
didn't teach us. They didn't teach us that shit.
yeah, no, the Roma were first enslaved in like 1397 by the Kingdom of Romania and Moldova, both of those kingdoms, and Wallachia too.
Yeah, Wallachia,
And
which is currently part of Romania.
yeah,
Yeah, that's where Dracula was from. Yeah, I think Dracula, Vlad Tepes, was the Prince of Romania, or one of those titles. But
there's
yeah,
a lot of Afro-Romani communities too, because like
Dracula was a real dude.
when Roma slaves would
you
escape,
didn't know Dracula was a real dude?
Nah.
Yeah, his name was Vlad Tepes. He was a Romanian nobleman that fought the Turks.
Oh shit! This adds a new whole layer to the
Dracula.
vampire
Literally,
shit.
Dracula means son of the dragon.
That's sick.
But he was a real dude. He was he fought the Turks, and he impaled like masses of people on sticks.
Oh, ain't that Vlad the Impaler?
That's Dracula.
That's Dracula?
That's Dracula, bro.
Oh shit! I had no clue.
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't know that Dracula was based off him.
Vlad Dracula.
Vlad Dracula. No shit.
Yeah. He does not. Yeah, that's him. He looks like this.
Yeah, I knew about him. I didn't know that his name was Dracula though. That's what. Yo.
Bruh. Gotta read Wikipedia, bro.
But like I was saying, there's a lot of Afro-Romani communities like all over the New World. Because when Romani slaves would, when they would escape, and then when black slaves would escape, they would get together, form their communities.
It's pretty cool. I know there's a lot of Afro-Indigenous communities. I've never heard about Afro-Romani communities, though.
They're especially prevalent around like Louisiana, and I think there was one in St. Louis.
Yeah, I knew we had Roma people here. Like a lot of people even know that Roma people exist in the United States. I think they think that there's some that's over there in Europe. And like when you talk to Europeans about the Romani people, like
oh my god, they turned the most hateful motherfuckers you've ever fucking met.
Like they show sympathy with black people in the United States. Oh yes, it's so bad how they treat you guys. But then you start talking about the Romani people in their towns. They're like, oh yeah, stay away from them. They are criminals. They pick your pocket. Those are criminals. You stay away from them. Like they're basically the exact same way that white people talk about us.
And I find it funny that one of the groups that will talk about the Roma people like that are Romanians.
Yeah,
giving a stereotype about
they're
Romanians.
Horrible. So are Slovakians. Slovaks are horrible.
Well, Eastern Europeans in general are extremely racist.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't
but
even like each other. They all
has
look the same.
They
Slovakia
all
has
look
the
the same. They
biggest
all
Roma
sound the same.
ghettos.
Yeah.
They all speak the same language. They all look the same, and they don't even like each other.
Yeah, they're just hateful fucking people, man.
Mhm.
Like the Serbians love blacks because like basketball, but like everybody else, well, Bosnians fuck with us pretty heavy too.
They like
I have
Mexico too.
Yeah, Bosnians fuck with black people pretty heavy. I knew that growing up in St. Louis, but yeah. But anyways, European stupidity aside, so yeah, like how would we define settler colonialism?
Going into one place, not trying to integrate into the population, instead trying to take over the population. For example, we look at Palestine and we see that there was Jews existing in Palestine before Israel existed, but they were integrated into the community of Palestine. They were Palestinian Jews. They were not Israelis. But then you have Israelis coming in, creating a new whole society on top of this, displacing the native population. And granted, some of those Israelis did turn out to be Mizrahi Jews, but either way, the existing population beforehand was integrated. The population that came after displaced everything. That's how I define it, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, solid definition, comrade.
That's why I said earlier that I don't count immigrants as settler colonists, just because it depends on if they're integrating in. Like I feel like that's the main difference. Are you displacing the native population?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but if you can buy a farm, you're not proletariat. That's for sure. Yeah.
No, I agree, because you're a landowner at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's like you mentioned the Mizrahim, basically the Jewish people of North Africa and the Levant. Like what Israel did, they did this with the Beta Israel in Ethiopia as well. Like they would literally go and they would like bring, even if the people didn't want to leave, they like bring all of these Jews from different countries and like force them to be in Israel. Like they would literally make these people's lives like, and mind you, these were communities that were thousands of years old, and they would like induce these people to come to Israel, like make them uproot everything. Like they literally went to Ethiopia and they got all these African Jews and they made them move to Israel, where they were basically third class citizens. They were sterilizing with Depo-Provera shots, like the women, because like even though they were Jewish, they did not want black people in Israel as as a population. There's also Hebrew Israelites over there, which I find hilarious. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. In Dimona, like there's literally a colony of black Hebrew Israelites from Chicago.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Imagine them like just showing up to the Knesset. Oh, you motherfuckers fake. Y'all fake. This all good. This all shit. This all holy land. I'm sad I didn't get to see any when I was in Chicago, because that's like their headquarters up there. There's a shitload of them up there.
We got hella Muslims too.
I mean, I saw them.
We got hella Muslims on the
you saw them
south
when
side.
you were up there. You saw them when you were up there for labor notes.
Yeah.
Don't they really love to target mixed couples. Like, brother, why are you sharing your seed with the spawn of the devil? You want them a lot of babies? Is that what you want? You want your Yakubian half breed?
I used to live in there's this, like, on the border with Gary, Indiana. There is I don't know if they're still out there, but they used to be like a group of like 10 of them constantly preaching outside of a fucking pantry, bro. Like, and I was at the time hanging out with this one girl, and she was a black girl. She was dark skinned, beautiful girl. Me and her were hanging out. We weren't dating or nothing, but we were, we was hooking up. And they started yelling at me.
You were having sex.
They were yelling at me, bro. And I was like 17 at the time. I was like, why the fuck are you yelling at me? I don't even know who you are.
You should have told them about your black grandmother, Skrilla.
Grandfather.
Yeah, you should have told them about your black grandfather.
I didn't even know what they were screaming about. I just knew that they were screaming at me and wearing funny outfits.
They're just like fucking Power Rangers. I had a coworker that was he wasn't it. I think he was from like a no. He
Yeah,
was a Moor. He
no,
was a
not
Moor.
Rowan Ash said like outside Gary towards Detroit or Chicago. No, like right on the border, with Calumet. Like that Gary. Like that's where I was living.
Gary.
I was living there.
The only thing I know about Gary is that song from the Music Man. Gary, Indiana.
We got I don't live Gary no more, but they got 85% African American population. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The first black mayor of a major city, Richard Hatcher.
Yeah,
that's also true too. I've been to Michael Jackson's house. That shit is small as hell.
Yeah, most of the houses back then were small as hell. There was all old steel workers housing.
Did you know that most of the steel in this country is also made in Gary, Indiana?
It is. You've bragged about that quite a few times.
I have bragged about that. Yeah.
Is it Nippon Steel? Is it the Japanese steel company?
Yeah, Nippon bought them out. It was U.S. Steel, but Nippon bought them out.
Yeah, no, Japanese buy a lot of stuff. They own most of the bourbon industry in Kentucky.
Okay, that's got to be the worst opinion I've ever seen. Philly cheesesteaks and lemonade was the best eats in Gary. One, that wasn't in Gary. That was in Hobart. Secondly, they overcharged like a bitch, bro. Tell me why I had to pay $15 for a chicken sandwich. That shit make no fucking sense.
Who are you talking
about? You got
about?
money to be spending like that? I'd rather go to Harold's Chicken, personally, but... All right, if we talking about Gary local, Big Daddy's Barbecue, bro. Like, come on. Oh shit!
Are you looking at comments?
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments.
Skrilla's looking at comments to keep himself awake.
I was like wondering who
you're from South Bend. Are you cool with the Northern Indiana DSA? Join them. They're cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fucking with the stream, you would also fuck with People's Defense Committee in South Bend.
Ooh, those are still around.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Skrilla, stop drinking energy drinks.
Okay.
You're gonna.
Shit, you're the treasurer? Oh shit, my buddy. We probably run into each other if you ever went to the Joy Bomb events.
Did you just
I'm not showing all my moonshine.
Go pick that up.
No, I'll be so.
You don't just throw. If you open it, I swear to God, I will end this stream right now.
No, this is not safe.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What's wrong with you?
We can't egg him on. No.
BRG, please make Skrilla a regular. I already am a regular. Have you not tuned in to any of the other streams?
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting it. This fucking savages. No, see, I try to make these people good Marxist, Leninist, Maoists. I try to turn them into good revolutionaries. I try to instill them with discipline and love of. And what does he do? He doesn't. How can he have love of the people if he doesn't even have love of himself?
Bro, this shit is great. What do you mean? I love myself because I'm feeding myself this. This tastes amazing.
You're gonna fuck your kidneys up. You're gonna drop dead of a fucking renal failure on stream one day, you moron.
How much caffeine does each of those cans have?
Let's see. That was like I had 3 while working. I had 1 when I got off. I just drank 1 and another and opened up this one. I lost count. But
you need to stop, Skrilla.
Is this your plan to strengthen your heart by taxing the hell out of it?
Oh no, I don't even feel it in my heart no more at this point. I started drinking these when I was like 12.
Damn.
They just make my stomach feel funny.
That's a sign that there's something wrong, buddy.
All the artificial stuff.
So we watched that video on how not to get killed by drones. It looks like we need to make a follow-up that's titled How Not to Get Killed by Energy Drinks.
240 milligrams of caffeine per can.
Bro, that's too much.
Look, the energy drinks is useful for Amazon workers.
So, and how many of those have you said you had?
I had 3 while working, 1 when I got off before joining the stream, one when I joined the stream, chugged that other one down, and now I'm sipping this one.
Okay, so that's what. So you had 3 at work, 240 times 3, that's 720. Then you
Yeah.
had another. Then you had another before you came here. Okay, right?
Right.
That's 960. Now you chugged one, right? On stream.
Boom, like that. Yeah.
Plus 240. That's 1200 milligrams of caffeine. Now you're drinking another one.
That's
That's
rookie
14.
numbers.
That's 1,440 milligrams of caffeine, Skrilla.
That's rookie numbers.
Look, there's a lot easier ways to do away with yourself, my friend.
I just like the flavor, bro.
I'm not going to even argue with you.
At
If
least
you
one
wanna-
of our comrades has the decency to do borax instead of.
Lord.
Yeah.
Why did he admit that on stream?
Is there anything? Oh my god, my new keffiyeh, it makes me look like Pol Pot.
I was about to ask, is that a Khmer scarf?
No, it's a keffiyeh from Regine. It came with a pen and a pen and a wristband as well. It's very good. I'm never going to take it off. I'm going to wear it to work tonight and get fired.
The B in BRG stands for brother.
Brother Redguard #1.
Number 1.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you're gonna sleep all weekend, bud. Stop drinking that.
I wanted to mention real quick that before Europe got any external colonies, they did a bunch of internal colonialism.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That was their practice.
Yeah, like
Ireland, Scotland, Wales.
The Basque country, Catalonia. There's a region in France that is an internal colony, and some of these people, right?
Brittany.
Britons, the Britons.
Brittany.
Britons actually got support from the IRA. Like the IRA was giving weapons to Brittany independence groups and to Catalonian independence groups.
Yeah, Corsica as well. Yeah, that's where Napoleon. Yeah, that's where Napoleon was from. There's a pretty strong Corsican liberation movement. They were carrying out bombings too.
The goat Muammar Gaddafi was giving them all them weapons.
Muammar Gaddafi was a charlatan and a mountebank, but he was also very, very good at giving away money and weapons.
He was the goat at giving away weapons. He gave weapons to El Rukin.
Mm-hmm. In Eastern Europe, after the fall of Yugoslavia, internal colony. Like all of their industry is owned by the Germans and the French.
Yeah, literally like
they were bombed.
Nearly like those people at Ibrahim Traore are fighting against in Burkina Faso. All that shit that's going on in Chad, Sudan, all that shit is armed by weapons that were in Gaddafi's arsenal. Yeah, when his government fell, like all that shit was just scattered to the four winds. The Tuareg, all these
Same
different
thing happened with Saddam Hussein.
Oh yeah, most of those OG Daesh guys, most of those OG those were Saddam's boys originally.
Yeah, it does remind me too of the weapons caches from all over the former Soviet countries.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
which
those
ended
weapons,
up funding all the wars that happened in Eastern Europe, like the Chechen wars.
I'm just sitting here looking like a fucking disappointed teacher.
Bro, why are we the only ones that are on stream right now? We asked like a bajillion people in Liberation if they wanted to join. Everyone had some form
because
of
everybody has social anxiety. Stop being ableist.
That's not being ableist. You could turn your camera off. You don't got to show your face.
We cannot force anybody to take part in a stream, Skrilla. Don't you drink now another one of those?
Look, the next application process is coming up, so we'll get some more streamers.
Yeah, let's let one of the questions be: are you willing to stream at fucking 8:00 on a Friday night with the fucking demented Mexican and a hillbilly? Anyways,
of course, like Appalachia is like an internal colony of the U.S.
No, it is not.
No, you don't think so?
How can colonists be a colony? The Appalachians were literally like Scottish and English border reivers that were used for the same purpose in the United States. They were intended to be a buffer against the indigenous people coming across the mountains to raid the tidewater plantations and stuff like that. So yeah, no, Appalachia is not an internal colony. Appalachians are the OG settlers. They just got forgotten about in the mountains.
And now they all mine coal.
Well, they don't mine coal anymore. Coal mining is actually a really, really high paid job now.
It is. Yeah, but
the UMW takes care of its own.
Yeah, it's like they there's still a lot of problems, like the lower they go, the more their lungs get affected, because now it's like silica dust.
I'm
which
sure
is even
that
worse. It's even worse than coal dust.
Coal mining probably does pay a lot, but let me tell you something.
Silicosis is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I live really close to the largest BP oil rig in the country. The Whiting refinery is the largest BP oil. If I enter the city of Whiting, I can't fucking breathe. I can't imagine what it's like being a fucking coal miner. You're just signing your death warrant for fucking $30 an hour.
Yeah, never mind. Well, never mind fucking Cancer Alley, like all those oil refineries they got in that little stretch of Louisiana. Like you turn your water on, you're lucky that shit ain't black. Houston, like if Houston gets a major like Katrina style hurricane, the environmental damage will basically make the Gulf Coast unlivable for generations. And on that note, do we have anything that we want to wrap up with before Skrilla fucking drops dead from renal failure?
Oh nah, trust. This is like nothing. I've done way more.
Yeah.
Well, 19 to 21 starting wages for new coal miners. What the fuck? You're telling me you're getting paid 19 to 21 to basically fucking kill yourself? Damn. What the hell?
Yeah, those are the non-unionized coal mines. Not all the coal mines are unionized, especially in Alabama. There's not many unionized coal mines.
You make more working at the Family Dollar.
That's what I was about to say. I could go work on an oil rig and make $31 an hour. What? Oh my fucking god! Of course he fucking joins at this point. Holy shit!
Stop being mean to Cyan.
I was working on the fucking shit for the Instagram post. Do you see how good it looks?
No, I haven't.
Let's take a look.
Let me check, baby boy.
Okay, so
wait, I can't hear you guys. Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Cyan, what are all your thoughts on settler colonialism? Go.
Wait, guys, just give me a fucking moment, please.
Why did you
give him some space? Give him some space.
Go to sleep. Are you drinking energy drink too?
Just water, although an energy drink would be nice. I'm gonna.
No. You want to?
I got another one that's unopened. If you want it,
throw it away.
Dude, I want an energy drink.
I have
so
some moonshine for you to mix with it.
Oh, I look pale and like a European woman with what's it called? That one disease that you get.
That one disease that you get.
The wasting disease, tuberculosis,
herpes,
syphilis.
The other ones.
HIV.
Oh my! You know what? Fuck you. I'm done. Fuck you. I'm done.
Wait, we're already done?
Yeah, you joined super late, bro. It's an hour and 3 minutes in.
We got to get science
vitiligo
on the topic.
Cyan has vitiligo. Cyan, you do look kind of like Michael Jackson.
I can see it.
I see it.
I can see it.
Look, guys. Logging off.
Cyan has worked very hard all day.
I have. It does it look good? Does it look good? Just.
Did you post it?
Because I've been sitting here looking at these fucking laboobos for like an hour.
Just check it out.
Labooboo.
Laboobos?
Liberation Labooboo.
Oh yeah.
Yo, this shit is hard. What the fuck, bro? Oh my god.
Oh god. Are we done? Are we done? I closed Discord because it kept making noise.
Yes, we're done. Bye, guys. I'll actually see you next week.
Come on. You gotta get science thoughts on settler colonialism.
Yeah, what do you think about settler colonialism?
Okay, how about we continue the discussion next week?
No.
What? Yo, look at the chat.
We look like twins.
Me?
Yeah, you're
One
and you?
topic per
Low-key,
week.
people be thinking I'm Mexican sometimes. I don't know why.
You're
Yeah.
Skrilla. You're Skrilla's pasty twin that never goes outside.
Yeah, that's me. And with that, we're the gang of
Poor.
I'm gonna purge all of these people. It's just gonna be me next week. I'm sick of all of them.
No,
right.
please.
No,
guys, I'm
come
sorry.
on, come
I'm
on,
sorry.
bro.
Come on.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, sir.
Guys,
keep
you want us
drinking
to
energy
stay,
drink.
right? You want us
You
to
keep
stay.
drinking energy drinks. You don't listen.
Oh my
Matt
God, I hate
drinks
that.
fucking whiskey moonshine, and Cyan is always late. You're all gonna fucking die.
All right, look.
I was
how about
working on the fucking. Oh my God.
Hey,
Hear about this.
you know,
Next stream, I won't drink energy drinks. I'll bring a Four Loco on instead, and we could,
I'm
we
down.
could do a Four Loco stream.
I'm going to open my fucking wrists. Good night.
now look, there's an Afro
Okay,
Romani
of all the shit to say on
community
stream,
in Granada.
and you talk shit to me about the shit I say on stream, and now you're saying you're gonna open your fucking wrist. All right.
He didn't say he was gonna cut himself.
I'm literally a cyborg. Like, you know,
He
these
did talk
things,
about
like,
the Borat.
I can
Right.
screw these things off.
You ever seen that commercial with Drake where he like his face opens up?
Why are you talking about Drake? We're not talking about Drake. It's banned.
No. You ever seen the commercial where he drinking the Pepsi? He drinks the Pepsi and then like he turns into a cyborg.
I don't watch television.
You know what?
I remember that.
Come on. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. He drinks Pepsi and then he turns into a cyborg.
God's plan. Have you guys seen the shits where it's like he's handing out like alcohol and shit and like cigs to like
I love the videos.
Motherfuckers, and he's like, and there's just God's plan playing in the background. That shit.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I've sent you a few though.
Can we get a fist up for Assata, please?
Rest in power.
Rest in power.
Good night. Yes. Good night.
You're really trying.